Hey, it's Nathan with options4l.com, and in this video I want to go over a free options tracking tool that I created to help me track my options and my trades from Robinhood, because Robinhood doesn't have the best options reporting. It lacks a lot of details, and especially if you're rolling options, like you can lose track of how well your rolls are working or aren't working, and you might think you have a better position than you actually have. So this free tool will help you analyze your option positions. So it's right here just on options4l.com, and we see right here the options tracking tool, and we can launch tool, or you can just go to tool.options4l.com and it'll bring you right to this page, and you don't need to sign up or anything. Now I might add a sign up form in the future where you can track and make comments and things like that, but right now it's just a drag and drop analysis tool. So what you need to do is you need to go to your Robinhood account, and we're going to go to account, and we're going to go to reports and statements, and then just right here you can go ahead and customize a report. I just select your particular account, select your start date and your end date. So I just did the life of my entire account, and generate report. Now it did take quite a few minutes, if not an hour, to actually run this report, but once you have it, you would just go ahead and download the CSV file and store it on your computer. And then you can come over to the Robinhood options analysis tool, and you can drag your file right into here, or you can click on it, and I'm just going to select my file and open, and boom, just like that, it pulls in all of the data within that file. So it pulls in the entire transaction history, so you can see your entire transaction history right here, all the trades you've made and so on, just in a nice list. You could sort it and everything else. We have the dashboard view right here, so this is a overview of your entire portfolio, so you can see your total profit and loss, realized and unrealized, your total profit loss that's been realized, your open positions, your win rate, a nice little graph right here, the different strategies and how well they've been performing for you, and then just some recent positions and recent transactions as well. So just some normal dashboard stuff. I'm certain that I'll be adding stuff over time, but I wanted to show this tool to you because it's become very, very helpful for me, especially with option rolls. So let's come over to close positions real quick, so we can look at that. So these are all the positions that have closed. So they've either expired, or I may have bought to close or sold to close in order to close out the position, or I may have rolled the position as well. So you can see all the positions that you have closed or that are no longer open. And then finally, we have the open positions right here. So these are the currently open positions that I have in my account. And so we can go ahead and click into them and get greater detail. So we just click on it right here, and we can see the entry date, the credit, the debit, the net P&L, max profitable debit, and then just like what happened. So 10 contracts at 30 cents, which is about $299.55. So it's just a sell to open call strategy, or in this case it's actually a covered call, but the credit and debit all work out the same. So let's move on down here, and let's look at this iron condor, because this one has multiple legs, and so it looks a little bit more interesting. And we can see all the different legs that we have open. So we have a buy to open put, the sell to open call, sell to open put, buy to open call, and you can see that I had 3 contracts, and the various amounts. So I have a net profit and loss of $467.50. So it breaks down those details for you. And coming back over here, now this is the part that I think is most valuable, is the roll tracking, because I've tried many different options trading tools, and trying to get them to follow along with the various rolls that I've been doing has been very hard to do, and it required a lot of manual work. But this tool does it like automatically, and I found it to be quite accurate. Even with the limited data that Robinhood provides us, it's able to match up your various trades and tell when you're rolling and when you're not rolling. So let's come to this one real quick, because you can see that I've had 5 rolls right here, and we can see my roll chain as well. So that's my net credit for this particular rolled. I've rolled 5 times, and my net credit is $3,170. So let's go ahead and click in here, and we can see that right now my open position, I have a sell to open call. So I have a covered call right here, 17 contracts at $2.86, $66 strike price expiring November 21st, 2025, and my credit for that was $4,861.23. But since I did roll it from another position, my net credit isn't as high as that. And so that's where things can get confusing. Let me come to my Robinhood account real quick so we can actually look at this particular trade in Robinhood, and you can understand what I mean, how it gets confusing when you keep rolling your options and making sure you keep track of your profit and loss. So if I come down here, we can see that my total return looks like it's $4,471, which seems like, I made a good chunk of change right there. But again, I've rolled it. So in order to actually open this position, I had to close out another position. And so what this value right here isn't showing is my net credit. And that's what's most important with all these rolls that I've been doing. Now, if I scroll down, I can see my net credit right here for $459, but I can only see this roll right here. I can't see the 4 previous rolls that led up to this particular roll right here. So I've had, 4 other rolls to get me to this position. And it's very hard to track back how I got to this position. And that's what this tool does right here, is it keeps track of all the rolls for you. So coming on down here, and I can see my roll chain history. And if I open that up, I can see where I started and where I am currently. So I started right here with a covered call. I had a credit of $475.23 net right here. And then I had to roll because this particular stock went up in value. And so I had to roll so that way my options weren't exercised and my shares weren't called away, because I was trying to protect my underlying asset. I didn't want my shares to get called away. So I rolled out and up. And you can see that I did that for a credit of $559.51. And then the value of the stock went down. So then I rolled again from 70 strike down to 66 strike. So I rolled down. So I rolled from November 7th to October 31st, again for a net credit. And then I rolled down and in again. So I rolled to an even more close date of October 24th, and a strike of 62.50 for a net credit of 287.51. And then I rolled again because the stock then bounced back up. So I rolled back up, and I had to roll back out too. So I went from October 21st to November 7th. And you can see I did it for another credit, so another credit there. And now I'm in my current position. And you can see my credit right here, $4,861.23. But I had to buy back this other roll first. So there's my net credit, the $457.51. We come over here, we're close, 459. So that's what that's representing right there, is that net credit right there. So you have to add up all these net credits together to figure out how much profit and loss you've actually made in all these rolls. So while it looks like I have a credit of $4,861, I've actually only have a credit of $3,170.78. So I want to make sure if I'm about to close out this particular position, I need to make sure that I'm closing it out for less than this amount right here, or I'm going to be losing money on all these different rolls that I've done. So if I came back over to Robinhood now, and I wanted to go ahead and close this out so I could go ahead and buy to close, and I have 17 contracts open, and I'll put my limit price, we'll just put it at 23. And my estimated cost to close is $391.72. So if I went through with this order right here, it would go ahead and basically close out all my rolls in this particular chain. And so if I come back over, so basically it was about $400, so I'd make about $2,800 after all these rollings, and then I'd go ahead and actually realize my profit. Because right now I've just been rolling and rolling and rolling. I haven't actually realized anything. And I now know that I could go ahead and net about $2,800 if I go ahead and close out my position right now, or I could just let it go and hopefully it expires worthless, and then I'll be able to keep all $3,170 or whatever it was. But that's a large chunk of why I currently have $23,000 total profit and loss because of my unrealized open positions that I have. Let me come back over here. You can see my open positions, net profit and loss, that $18,803. And that's because I haven't closed any of these positions out. I've just rolled them. This one I've rolled 5 times, 1 time, 2 times, 2 times, and so on. And that's because iBit is a Bitcoin ETF, and Bitcoin's been kind of going crazy these last few weeks, so I've been having to bounce all around. But hopefully it levels out here and I can go ahead and close some of these positions and actually finalize and realize my gains. Hey, so real quick, I wanted to jump in here and point out that this is open source software. So I have the GitHub here, and I have a link in the description down below. But you could go ahead and review the code right here to see what's going on the inside, or you could go ahead and make it your own, as it is free, fully open source, and so on. So we have instructions here and everything else. So I just want to point that out real quick, that it's full open source. So if you're wondering what's going on in the back end, you can review the code yourself or plug it into an AI and have it review the code, and you can ask it questions and be like, hey, is it doing this or is it doing that? Or fork it and make it your own product and do whatever you want. And so that's it for this tool. Again, I'm going to add more features over time. I want to make it so you can register an account and track your options and log in and write comments and manage things from here. But right now I've kept it super simple. You can just drag and drop your file. It'll import all the data, consolidate all the roles, and help you keep track of where you actually stand and all your option strategies. And hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, I appreciate any sorts of likes, comments, subscribes, anything like that. And I hope you have a great rest of the day.